He knew what he was doing. He totally knew. When Neil dropped that bomb the other day about, yeah, Last of Us 3, I think I finally got this idea. Ready to, you know, it's formed, man. I think there's something there. That's the teaser that everybody's been waiting for a long time. Um, because the first one was a hit. It got a hit HBO show made out of it. The second one was a hit. A little divisive, between fans. Some people don't like the story from that one as much as they did from the first one, but it's still a phenomenal game. I've got a couple of videos discussing the story points between those. I thoroughly enjoyed the second one. It was a traumatic experience, but from a storytelling perspective, it's one of the few games that has given me that level of immersion to just truly feel, heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching emotions for these characters on the screen. That's a very impressive piece of storytelling to be able to pull me in like that. So I am looking forward to the third one for sure. But on the heels of that tease is also being him saying, hey, yeah, but it's probably going to be a decade and on the next version of the PlayStation, not current gen. Which, talking about how it might be a decade, let's read through this here. This is up on Business Insider. You can find it. There's lots of places, but I'm just going to go through this one. So he's been working on a sequel, but you'll likely have to wait a decade or more to play it. I'm scrolling down to see where we got links to things. He says, talk about the concept. He says, I do have that concept that to me is as exciting as one, as exciting as two, is its own thing, and yet has this through line for all three. So it does feel like there's probably one more chapter of this story. So it's part of a documentary? Oh, so I didn't know this. I'm learning about this from this article. So the Naughty Dog released a 2-hour documentary, which can be found here. I'm gonna have to go watch this, dude. I know what we're doing. Um, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Sunday. Maybe I'll do this during the live stream tomorrow. This might be fun to go through. That's a 2-hour video. Yeah, why don't we check that out tomorrow? We can do like a reaction to this one. That's going to be pretty awesome. Um, in the documentary, it says it's always like we would love another Last of Us, but if you guys feel you're passionate about something else, we'll support this other thing. It's a very privileged position to be in. I never take that for granted. I've just been thinking about it. Is there a concept there? Um, Forbes says 2013 was the first one. The second one came out in 2020. Second season of the TV series is expected to begin production this month and air sometime in 2025. Um, so I'm going to go over here to the according to Forbes website and see what they have to say. Hang on. This said my theory. So let's see if this is just someone's supposition. Hang on. I want to know if this is something that Druckmann said or if this is someone's supposition that it's a decade out. Uh, 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 um. He says my theory. Okay. He says my theory used to be that The Last of Us Part 3 would be timed so it would release and give the HBO show more content to work with after Part 2 was split into seasons 2 and 3 of the show, which we already know is happening. That's 4 years out. But it doesn't line up with his comments, says this article. This is from Forbes now. Druckmann's comments. How are you getting the supposition that The Last of Us Part 3 is miles away? Okay, so this guy's just, that's a deceptive title. Um, hang on, I want to go back here and read this. So, but it might be. So the co-creator, this is a deceptive title because it says here, The Last of Us Part 3 is in the works, co-creator says. And then infers that he also says, but it might be a decade before it's released, or are they trying to say, well, that's just the wording on this seems. This is what I was getting back about the other day when we talked about rumors. So I wouldn't count that thing decade as factual. This guy is saying on the generous side, I don't think it's going to be here any sooner than 5 years from now. There were 7 years between the first two parts with Uncharted 4 in the middle. 7 years for The Last of Us would put it in 2027. The fact it's just at the concept stage, I'd say we're probably 7 years out if I had to guess. That would put it either at the very tail end of the PS. They might have that be something they do at the tail end of the PS5. If they were smart, this is what they'll do. They'll do a release of the PS6 with The Last of Us 3 as like the flagship title that's launching for the PS6, right? But they'll also launch it on the PS5, just like they did with The Last of Us 2. That was a big vehicle for the PS5, but it was also available on the PS4. But then they got to The Last of Us 2 Remake, and it's only on the PS5, not on the PS4. Same thing Cyberpunk did too. So if I had to guess, that's probably what they'll end up doing. But I'm just guessing here. That's just me playing the rumor mill the same as these people are. So it's an interesting. We all we really know at this point is that there is a documentary out, which we're gonna go watch at some point in the next day or two. We're gonna make that a live watch through. Um, and this Business Insider article, which pulls from the documentary. So ignoring the whole 10-year made up numbers here, at least at the very core of this is a documentary that we can watch. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. Which is from Naughty Dog, called Grounded 2. I haven't even heard of this. This is gonna be fun to watch. I like documentary stuff, so this is on my agenda now. Like I said, I love the first game. I love the second game. I love the HBO show. I love the fact that they're splitting the second game into two parts. If I had to guess, that's to give them more room to show both characters. So both Ellie and Abby. Yeah, we got to have everybody together. Eh, that's going to be an interesting. I bet that's why they're doing it in two seasons, so that we get that perspective that they wanted to make sure that we got when we played through the game. So I expect to see that coming through on the screen in the second and third seasons. And personally, I would happily wait for this to be coming out after the shows because that's going to sort of saturate a wider market for the IP. And then when they then can start to roll out the marketing materials for the next game, you'll have an audience of gamers who are salivating, but also now this additional wave of consumers who have grown up with the HBO show, maybe gone back and played the first couple of games, probably the remake editions because those are the ones you're promoting, and they're sort of primed and ready. And so you've got a third tier essentially of customers who are going to be coming in. You've got all the people who purchased the first one, then the people who carried through the second one, and then the people who watched your HBO show and now they want to get involved in the IP from a gamer's perspective. Um, I could see all that working from a marketing standpoint. But again, it's just supposition on my part, feeding into the rumor mill. But I want everybody to understand that I have no facts. I'm just pontificating like other people do. Um, it makes me chuckle. But anyway, I'm going to go watch this documentary with everybody and see what it's all about. Love to hear your thoughts. Hopefully, we'll see you in that live stream. Just pay attention to the Discord and social media or your notifications, which, if you're not getting them, here's how you do so. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get the notifications when I go live. I multi-stream here and on Twitch pretty much every single day, so you can follow along live where you want. And of course, all the day-to-day stuff happens here on YouTube with all of our game guides, reviews, the talking series, the reaction series, and more. There's a Discord, and of course, you can always check out my latest fantasy novel. Links are down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see everybody next time. Peace.